Query processing in DBMS. So what is query processing? When user is type the query, so at that time the number of steps are performed at the back end to extract the output of those query, and that query is a translate into internal form, because whatever the user type the query, it is not understood by our DBMS system. It should be translated into the internal form. So in query processing, three steps are there: parsing and translation, optimization and evaluation. So let's see first what is parsing. Parsing means, suppose for example, select star from user where id equal to 1. So in this query, so this is a query, right? So what is parsing means? What it check the syntax of query. It check whether the user table is present in database or not, because here you can mention select star from user, so whether the user table is exist into the database or not. Check whether the id equal to 1 is present in into our table, into user table. There is a primary key or foreign key, or whether the id attribute is present for entity user or not. That means if in that means in user table id 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 attribute is present for user table or not. So this is how the parsing is doing. Like here you can see this is a user table, so what parsing do? Check whether the user table is present into database or not. Check this id equal to 1 is present or not. So check syntax of the query also. So if you type uh, wrong spelling of any word, that also check by parsing. So after that, then parsing is generate a parser tree. So let's see how we generate the parser tree for this query. Select star from user where id is equal to 1. So this is select, it's a first word select, then select list. In select list there is an identifier, that is star. So star is an identifier, then from. So here the next identifier is a table, user table, then where, and then where condition. So in where condition, id is a identifier and 1 is a literal. So this is how the parser tree generated. After that, translation means what? Whatever the user enter the query, we should convert that query into the high level language, for example SQL, because it is not understood by database system. It is understood by user, but that query is not understood by database system. So we have to convert the query into higher level language. So the translation is done with the help of relational algebra. So this is the video. You can check this link for what is relational algebra. It's a very simple video. So this is a query: select uname from user where id equal to 1. So this query can be written into the relational algebra in two ways. So here you can see how I'm writing this query into the relational algebra. The next is optimization. So from this two query, the optimization optimize, or uh, or it select the best relational algebra equation or relational algebra from these two relational algebra. So it select most efficient from that, and after that it generate the query evaluation plan. So here you can see how they generate the query evaluation plan. So this is first relational algebra. It's the condition what the user want, then what the user from so user want user name from student table. This is your first relational algebra, and this is the second way to write the relational algebra, and from that the optimization is selecting this second relational algebra because it's most efficient. So this is how optimization is done, and after that the query evaluation plan is generated. Then last step is evaluation. After optimization, system execute this query evaluation plan, and with the help of that, system generate the output of the query and it is displayed to the user. So how your system is select uh, most efficient query, sorry, select most efficient relational algebra from two or more relational algebra. um, some criteria is there: actual memory available, then how the query is accessing disk, then what is the CPU time for this that execute query. So this cost is not perfect, but it is rough estimate of execution cost for each operations. So thank you so much. This is how the query processing in DBM is. Thank you.